We are committed to fighting discrimination through storytelling.
Here's to unicorns everywhere.
We share stories of LGBT individuals and our allies in order to build true community, one cocktail at a time. Welcome to Happy Hour. We are closing out season 3 today. Our guests are going to be here any second. We're going to talk about gender a little bit. But we wanted to go back and talk about a very full season that we had and revisit some of our favorite moments. So, Saturn, what was your favorite moment of our last year?
You know, there were a lot. I had to really think about this, but I think my favorite overall moment was when we had James Arthur on and we talked about racism on the rocks, particularly in segment 3, because he talked some really important issues, but he did it in a very articulate and humorous way. And I really loved that episode.
Yeah, James was a really, really good interview. I would have talked to him for hours, and he's just such a smart and thoughtful, sweet guy. We miss him. He moved to New York.
He's doing really well, too.
He is doing really well. So we should show that clip.
Absolutely. Something that I've gotten a lot that just really pisses me off is when people say, oh, it's not me being racist, it's just my preference. Have you heard that before? The whole preference argument?
I think my eye just started twitching.
You mean when someone doesn't want to date a black
Yeah. Or whatever. Men of people of color. The whole preference argument. Yeah.
That speaks to your systemic racism that you do not want to acknowledge. Mm-hmm. I think anytime you have to defend something that you're saying, I'm not a sexist, but women just really don't work as hard as men. Right? Exactly. Anytime I'm having to defend something, like you actually are what it is that you're saying. You're not willing to do the work to.
That reminded me of somebody.
You're not. Are they in the studio?
No.
Okay, thank God.
These people are lovely.
I love all these people. They're so great. But it sounds to me it's more of a defense that someone is more so speaking towards. And I think, how limiting, how sad for you that you're limiting yourself from millions of people from a culture. And why are you not that into that group of people?
Exactly.
Is it because you believe that they're thugs or they're gangster or their penises are too big, or what is it that and I think it speaks back to just how much in media we're told what is attractive, right? We're told that a certain image is attractive, and if we're not represented in media, if we're not looked at as a love interest in movies, or we're not sought after or are told that we're beautiful, and there can be even some internalized, I hear that with other, see other people of color who don't date other people of color.
Oh, I see it all the time too.
Right? Yeah. Or they won't. And it's sort of unpacking that and understanding that we are beautiful and we don't need to prove that. But anyways, it goes back to just the conversation that that is a racist thing to say.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite segment's Complete 180. Of course, I'm going to choose the one where y'all were doing the drinking game with Celso and Liisa.
Oh my God,
that was fun.
Never have I ever, and never had they ever been to the sex club, which of course I think you were the only one that didn't drink to it. But they dragged Liisa, and they were just telling the story where she said she really didn't know what was going into the sex club until she got there.
I was surprised that Liisa had been to a sex club.
She's like Catholic and Jewish. I'm getting that right, Jewish. I don't know, but she's like her husband. They're a little religious, and she had gotten dragged into it. Oh. So that's
That's why I believe it. Anybody else say that? I'm like, please, but Liisa, I'll believe it. That could actually happen too.
Yeah,
yes.
I could see that. But what I love about Liisa is she's kind of open to everything.
Yeah,
she's
like,
likes
okay,
life
here we are.
Experience. She just goes for it.
She goes with the flow.
She goes with the flow.
She really went with
We
that
love
flow.
Liisa and Celso. Let's watch that clip too.
Yes.
Never have I ever been to a sex club. That's a simple one, I know, but I want to see what she's going to answer.
Well, because you took me there. Goddamn choice. Set a woman up.
Cameron, you're not.
I've never been to a sex club.
Oh, wow.
Now that's more of a shocker than.
I am shocked by that, actually. Well, bottoms up, people.
Bottoms
I
up.
don't remember.
Bottoms up.
I don't remember.
The audience is laughing because I guess there's a chance.
When you wake up in one, you were there.
No, I don't think
Oh, that's
so.
Saturn.
Everywhere I go is a sex club.
It's a Gayborhood. It's a sex
I've
club.
been to Saturn's
Yes.
house. Does that count?
It's kind of true.
Did you pay an entry fee? Okay.
Did you sign the wall?
Did you get a little band and a
But
locker key?
you're one of the few people that I let in my house without having to undress.
I have never
so.
gotten naked in your house,
There you go.
and I know that's
That's a rule.
It's apparently a rule.
What was your favorite segment?
my favorite segment. I had a hard time choosing. I love them all. But I have to say I'm going to dial all the way back to the very beginning, and because, well, it was really important for me to do an episode about bisexuality.
That's right.
And we had Michael Chua, who's a very good friend of ours, on. Even though he had two lesbian parents, or bisexual and lesbian mom, grew up in San Francisco, he still had challenges coming out as a bisexual man, which seemed like, I mean, how much easier could it get? But it wasn't that easy. And yet he had this great attitude about just don't let anybody tell you what you should and shouldn't do. Be who you are. Be your unicorn.
Cheers
Be
to
who
that.
Can you talk a little bit about when you have shared that with individuals or other people, straight or gay?
Yeah.
What types of reactions you get?
I would say that the worst reactions actually tend to come from gay males.
Really?
A lot of them will be like, you're not bi, you're just too scared to say you're gay. And to that I've told them, I was born and raised in San Francisco to lesbian moms. I can be whatever the fuck I want to be. I'm a fucking unicorn.
Not that you want to fuck a unicorn.
No.
Because that would be different.
That would be painful.
So let me ask you this. I can feel a sexual attraction towards a woman.
Yeah.
That's not uncommon for
And
me.
you've slept with women before.
And I have slept with multiple women in my day.
But you're
However,
not-
I think
bisexual.
everyone's bi.
but
But
however,
Me too.
I agree. I actually
However,
agree.
when you talk about that component within you that falls in love, that feels that level of deep, intimate connection, I'm not sure I could feel that for a woman. And you could feel that for either.
Oh yes, definitely. I actually think that I tend to fall in love with the person, and then I figure out how the parts will match like later.
Any final words for anybody struggling with the same kind of stuff that we went through, that you went through?
Like I said, don't care what people who don't support you think, because one of the reasons that I didn't come out was, as I said, I was worried that the girls I would be able to date would change, and it took me so long to finally realize, why would I want to date them anyway?
You wouldn't want them anyway.
If they don't love me for all of who I am, and don't let age be the thing that finally changes it, because it's so much better living on the other side.
Yes, it is. We can all agree with
living
that.
out.
Yes.
Living out.
Living free,
You
living
are.
you.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely. Cheers to that. Here's to unicorns
Yes.
everywhere. So that basically wraps it up for season 3. We're looking forward to doing more in the coming year. So thank you all for watching, and here's to more happy hours.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
For more about Happy Hour with Cameron Stiehl, upcoming episodes and events, please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. For more stories and news about the LGBT community, go check out G News and Glitterbomb TV, both hosted by Celso delay. And for even more, check out It's Everything with BB Sweetbriar and The Sex Talk with Mo and Genoa.
One more time. Finally got the words to say, yeah. Hey, I'm coming out.
If you like this video, please go watch another one right up here. And if you really like us, go down to the bottom crotch bar and like and subscribe.